Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios. This is take 2, because apparently when I uploaded this video on Wednesday, there was no sound. So we're going to try it again today. I wanted to show you these pretty little blossoms. They're almost like a lilac in style, cluster of little bitty flowers on one stem. And this is from my cherry blossom bush in my front yard, my side yard. Somewhere in my yard, right outside my office window. And when I open up the office window, it smells so lovely in here. Before we got the storms in yesterday, I went out and I cut several stems and did a couple of bouquets so that they'd last just a little bit longer before the rain beat them off the bush. Okay, but that's not what you came to see. You came to see my haul video from Tuesday. That I'm not sure where it went as far as the volume, but we're going to try it again today. If you've been to my studio before, or even to this video before, thanks for stopping back by. And if you're new to my channel, I'm glad you stopped in. Please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. And you'll see lots of goodies coming up this year. First stop I went on my travels Tuesday this was my main reason for going out, other than to go pay bills, was to go buy the Rusty Moon and Quilts to get Tim Holtz fabric. Tim Holtz has discontinued this line, and he is coming out with a new line later this month under a new designer, new fabric line. So I wanted to get whatever pieces that Kurt had in the store that I did not have. So I've got the number blocks. I have the airmail. This one I got for a friend. It's not Tim Holtz fabric. Don't look at it. The cigar labels, and this little piece was folded up inside the bolt, so I told him just throw it in. We'd take all we could get. And then this is the measurements in taupe, I believe. There's two of these. There's neutral and taupe, and to me they're both very similar, just one is a little bit more gray. But anyway, these are the Tim Holtz fabrics that I picked up at the Rusty Moon and Quilts. I'm going to link them down below. There were 4 that he had left in the store. And so if you don't have any of these and you would like some, he does do shipping. So I'll link his store down below. Then I went to a thrift store. And all the proceeds go to the rehab center in West Plains. And I found this book, the Border Book, and one of the things I loved about this was, and I know we've got some glare, thanks to the overcast skies this morning. I've got the big light on overhead, but you get, let's see if I can find one of the pages here. They give you the planting plan and the plants that go in there, and I thought if I want to use any of these collections, then I could cut these out and I could put them in my garden journal. So if I ever had to go back in and replant something, I'd know what I needed to replant. And then anything else that I don't use, I have the lovely pictures that I can use in journals. So this is the Border Book that I picked up. It was $1.25. Then there was this interesting little thing. At first I thought it was just a box, but if you turn it up on its side, and I know it's called the Iowa File Letters, and I can't tell what the first part is. I think it's 1920 to December 31st, 1920 to December 31st, 1940. And it had this little leather pull tab that you could pull it off the shelf. But when you laid it down, there's a latch, just like on a box. And this top opens like the front of a book. Then this edge flops down, and inside you have A to Z of these craft page dividers. Now, what am I going to use this for? I have no clue. But it's called the Iowa File, and the Iowa File Company was incorporated in 1864 by the Clinton Paper Company. Excuse me. And it's bound with what appears to be a pin system, and I can't figure out. I'll have to play with that and see how it comes apart. But it was just way cool. I'll find something to keep in there, I guarantee you. And the other thing was, let's see, we had a package of new lace, and it's from Duct. You know, the duct tape company. Scotch. No, it's not Scotch. It's duct tape. So, but it's a lace trim, and I had not seen the products from them, but what does make sense is it's peel and stick. So that should be fun in a journal. I found these vintage baby shower napkins. They had them for sale for 50 cents. When they sold by Beach Products, they were 49 cents plus tax. So I guess I paid the tax. And then there was this game box, Sing It book, Sing It Back Trivia. 100 cards for a girls' night out. I thought the box was lovely, but then you've got this note page here, and then the game cards. Your line, I should have bought you flowers and held your hand, should have gave you all my hours when I had the chance. And then the team's line, sing it back and say, take you to every party because all you wanted to do was dance. Now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man. It's from the song When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars. I thought that was an interesting thing. But the cards, I love the purple. I love this lavender color. So I got that to add to my game box drawer. And lastly, there was this 1950s file box with a push latch there. And it even had the keys to it, so I can, and it's a hanging file box. I would imagine this was one of a very early hanging file folder box, as we know hanging file folders today. So, excuse me, I'm going to use that for my Etsy files for business. So from there I went to Dollar Tree. Oh, yeah, then I went to Dollar Tree and I found these lovely ribbons. They're the sheer ribbons, and of course, you know, I had to have all 6 colors. You know, they're Dollar Tree, so, you know, you can't go wrong with the price. And I love using sheer ribbons as ties and tassels on my journals. So I got all of those. And then I found these notepads. This one is Take Your Time. This will be perfect in a garden journal. And also, if you have the the home happy planner, these color schemes will work perfect in that if you want additional note pages. And then this one on barbecue for maybe a recipe journal or a camping journal, something to that effect for those. So that was pretty much all I spent at Dollar Tree, believe it or not. Then I went out to a yard sale. On my drive into town Tuesday morning, I heard on our Swap Line radio program, excuse me, coffee's a must, about a yard sale. Well, it turned out to be a basement rummage sale, but they said the words vintage linens. So I knew I had to go. And let me tell you, other than being at, you know, picking up a piece of furniture at a sale somewhere, I have never spent this much at a sale. But wait till you see what I got. I want to start with this book. It is the story of a one-room schoolhouse teacher, Pauline Smith Pond, in West Plains. And there was probably not going to find the passage that I found Tuesday when I did this, but she talks about being a one-room school teacher, and I loved it. There's her teaching certificate, and this is from 1926. Now, I can't copy these pages, but I could probably go to the courthouse and get that. But there was a page in here I really loved yesterday about going to visit a student's home. There's some great old pictures in here. And there was the gal that checked me out at the sale. She had been a student in this lady's class. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, to the vintage yummies. Some of these, not all of these are vintage, but they're still going to be yummies. I'm going to start with these 2 biggest pieces. There are 2 valances in each of these bundles in 2 different styles. This has a, I love this burgundy, wineish colors. And this has a very nice sheen to it. And I've got, you know, 2 pieces of fabric there that I can use, both the outside pattern piece, and then I've got the neutral on the inside. I don't believe that's a single sheet. I do believe there's 2 pieces there. So I've got that one. And then there's this one, which is more of an upholstery fabric type, and probably match somebody's furniture. And this is only a single layer, but there are 2 of those in that. Oh. Then there was a box that said, you know, one price for each individual piece. Ow. So I bought several of these, and there was this big round scarf, made for the center of a round table, maybe. It does have some imperfections, has some stains, but that's okay. It's old. It's allowed to. And then it has this lovely crocheted edge on it that I thought was gorgeous. This would be pretty to come off the bottom of a journal or as a part of a flip. Thought that was pretty. And then there were several hand crocheted pieces. There was this one. And I think it's supposed to be an oval with the daisy flower motif in the center. Then there was this one. And I have one very similar to this. And this would be gorgeous on a cover, on a wraparound cover. This would be really pretty. And then there was this one. I may use this one on my Irish journal that I want to do. I did an Irish journal for my sister last year, and I want to do one for me, and I think this is where this one's going to go. I love that. And then this smaller one, and then this one, and I have one almost identical to this pattern. Now last year at a sale, I picked up some dinner napkins, and the pattern is almost identical and the color is almost identical in this dresser scarf. Or this could even be a larger version of that napkin, for that matter, in the blue. And then there's this one. I love this. This says fabric flip on it all day long, with these pretty bright fuchsia and teal daisies. And then there's this one, and this is a really long, like, table runner or maybe a nine drawer bureau dresser scarf with the basket and the crochet trim. I love how, you know, they actually made things to be pretty as well as functional in a house. And then I've got one similar to this, which is, no, this goes with the other one. This basket, I guess I could turn it right side up, huh? Yeah, this is the right side. Those, and this is like maybe a nightstand scarf, and then this would be the dresser scarf in the same pattern. All worn, but that's what makes them lovely. Now, in yesterday's video, when I first put this up, one lady, Earlene, mentioned that there's a lot of these that she would press and reuse, and there are. There was this piece here that was the bottom part of a curtain, and I'm going to take and probably leave this as it is and just cut it into sections to share in my shop, keeping a couple pieces for me. A lot of these items, portions of them will wind up in my shop. There was this one. This one I found unique. This wasn't cut out to be round. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, did I do that? 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. 8 arms that this applique comes off of, and I thought this was pretty. And then there was this sheet of lace. And while this is a sheet of lace, they've actually added another lace trim around the border to dress just a plain piece of lace up and make it really pretty. That could almost be part of a veil. It's pretty. Okay, then that was all of the individual price pieces. Now we get into the package stuff, and they were packaged in sets. And this one was 3 napkins and 2 end tables. And here's the napkins. No, these are the end tables. End tables. And they all have this pretty floral motif. Turn it this way and see if you can get all of it in there. Nope. There's one on either end, and then there's the smaller ones on the sides. Those are the napkins, I think. No, these are the napkins, and there are 3 of these, and they're just plain. And as you can tell, they were well used. Looks like maybe remnants of something greasy or a pasta sauce. And there's 3 of those. Those will make lovely covers on maybe a TN journal. And I'm trying to shove them back in the bag so that I don't lose track of them. I did not get any kind of a sales receipt, so I'm going to have to go through and take a picture of everything that shows my prices so that I've got that for taxes. This one says has a tear, but when I opened it up yesterday, I couldn't detect any kind of a tear. But I love this. It's all this stretch, and it does have some staining there, or it looks like maybe it did have a tear and they tried to seal it with some kind of a glue. But I love this, and this almost matches this perfectly, and has this daisy trim to it. So there's that one. And then just a plain green polyester dinner napkin. And you know, I've thought about getting back into using dinner napkins and that type of thing, and I want to make, we use paper towels a lot in the kitchen for wrapping up like biscuits to pop them in the microwave and warm them up. And I'm thinking about making little cozies that I can put buns and stuff in and pop them in the microwave to warm up. This one is just a tablecloth. And I have one very similar to this. And it's nothing fancy, just a plain white tablecloth, but it has, I know what this flower is, and I've gone nuts. It's a rose variation that's inset tone on tone into the tablecloth. So there are 2 of those that I bought. And of course they're white, which means I can dye them whatever color I want, and that may help hide some of the staining. Ouch. Here's the other one of those. This yellow. This is a vintage tablecloth and matching napkins. And they are a linen. And what I love, this is like for a small breakfast nook square table. And it's this pretty yellow linen. And in the white border, they've done the overcast of the yellow dots. And then in the napkins, they've done the white dots in the corners of each of the napkins. So they paid attention to detail when they did things like this. And I really believe if we took time to get our kids back into this kind of thing, there'd be less kids in trouble. Give them something to be productive with. Even if they never use it in their lifetime, at least it's something they'll have. And when I think about the number of people that are going back to basics now, and they're looking for things like this at auctions and flea markets, what they could do if they learned to do this, they would probably love this. Now this piece excites me. First off, I love this skin tone color. And this is another one of those square breakfast table kind of pieces. And you can see, I'm going to fold this in half again so you can see how this goes all around. And then you have, this almost looks like a dress skirt on the side panels. And then these napkins. Look at this. They are round. Almost round. With this daisy inset that matches the daisy in the tablecloth. I love these. These are so pretty. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to use those in a junk journal. I may have to find a use for those in my own personal life. We'll see. And then, I took 3 bags of linens out of that sale yesterday, people. This was 2 end tables and a coffee table runner. So these would go on your end table. And there were 2 of those. And see, they weren't overly, they were just a very tiny crochet edge. And then the embroidered flowers. Let's turn this one over so you see the front of it. And then the embroidered flowers on 4 sides. And then there was the tablecloth that you would put on your coffee table to match. Just, the detail just, it brings out the 1950s housewife in me. I can tell you that. Which I've always said I'm a 1950s housewife in a 21st century body. This one I know I am keeping. It is a vintage tablecloth. And it's going to go on my front deck table. It is for a square table. But wouldn't this be pretty out there for summer on my front deck? Of course, it's not going to match my chair covering, so if I could find another one of these and recover my chairs out there, that would be lovely. I love that. So pretty. Of course, it would go on the table in my studio, too, in my new gazebo, my furniture, too. Then there's this piece, and this is like a little table runner. Or another one of those long dresser scarf runners. So you can see the leaf pattern in there. Now I know it's going to take forever for this video to upload today. And it's a good thing I've got other things I can be doing. Because this is going to take a while. This is another one of those linen tablecloths. Back when you could get good linen fabric. I have tried to find good linen fabric to make handkerchiefs, and it's almost impossible to find a good linen fabric. I love this slate blue. And yes, part of this video timing is going to be me stuffing things back into the bags, but I don't want to separate anything. This one is not vintage, I don't think, but they're curtain valances. But look at the detail in the tone on tone, and then you have all this lovely, 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 lovely fringe. Yeah, I said lovely multiple times because it's just so fun. That again would make a beautiful journal cover, and leaving the fringe intact all the way around, using that so that it hangs off the bottom, and then incorporating this on maybe 1 or 2 of the page edges to bring everything together. So there's that one. And the thing that got me in trouble yesterday, I had everything bagged up, I'd paid for everything, I was on my way out the door, and I spotted these hanging from a pants hanger. There were 5 of them. These are full chair covers for like ladder back chairs that they would cover the whole back, front and back. They'd cover the seat and it drapes all the way down to the floor to totally camouflage a chair. But I love this raw honey color. This is going to be perfect in my bead journal and in my bead journal kits. So you're going to want to keep an eye out for this. I'm still gathering, collecting. I do have stuff going into the shop next week, I promise. I have already pulled stuff to start getting stuff ready to go in the shop for next week. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, because this was supposed to be a Design Team Thursday and I had to redo that, I'm moving Design Team Thursday. But I'm not going to tell you when. I'm not going to tell you when. Because every time I tell you something's coming up, something messes up and I don't get back in here. So this was supposed to be Design Team Thursday, but it's not going to be Design Team Thursday. It will be coming soon, I promise. It's going to take me a day to finish printing out what I want to use. I haven't decided if I want to do a fairy book or if I want to do something with chocolates and desserts. I'm leaning towards the chocolates and desserts. In the meantime, if you want to see a gorgeous fairy journal, I'm going to link Marcy's studio down below, or Marcy's video down below for the fairy journal that she just did for the Dear Julie design team. She has joined our ranks, and I'm so happy she's with us. She's extremely creative. So I'm going to link that video for her channel down below, and you're going to see some really cute techniques that she has used in this book. So make sure you pop over and visit Marcy. In the meantime, I'm off to set this to upload. It's going to be a long day. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. Creative blessings.